Okay, I'd like to call the town board meeting of the town of Lake Mills to order. It is September 11th, 2018. It's 8:01 PM here at the town hall. The notice of the meeting was posted at the town hall, the North End Boat Launch, the cul-de-sac on Finch Brothers Road, and also on the town's website. Item 2 on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. I motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the agenda as published, please say aye. Aye. And all opposed, the same sign. The agenda is approved. Item 3, approval of the minutes.
I wanted to ask Dave if you want anything added. You talk a lot about, or give a lot of information about what the fire commission is working toward, and we've talked about it in other meetings too, so I didn't go into it in length, but if there's anything that you do want to have in the minutes, let me know. I
Okay,
guess,
all right, yeah, that's, sure.
Okay.
I thought you did a super job. It was a long meeting. I thought you did great.
Well, I also wanted to note that I did add to this, that letter from the Davises. I mean, I just touched on it in the minutes document, but I'm attaching their letter to
All right,
the minutes as documentation.
okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the August 8th meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the monthly board minute meetings from August 8th of 2018, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. The minutes are approved. Item 4, approval of the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion to approve September's treasurer's report.
And I'll second that. Is there any discussion?
4621 case on LLC for
That's
the,
disbursements, isn't it?
what's that? No, on the revenues.
Oh, that's,
Okay.
yeah, that's heirs.
Right, yeah.
Intersection, yeah.
And, because of, and kind of it was, receivables, and I don't want to jump ahead, but then, on the disbursements, then there's heirs and associates for Sherwood Hills North Engineering for 95,741.47. I'm gonna guess those are two separate items, but is that something that's going to get?
Total that is owed to heirs is $95,74.47.
Okay.
Jason and Hope went through each invoice and determined who was responsible for what.
Okay,
And so he reimbursed us for the piece that was declared his.
okay.
And the rest of it is
Is ours.
It's ours,
ours.
okay.
Yes.
All right. Gotcha.
I have all of that here if you want to take a look at it.
No, I was just kind of curious
Yeah.
of,
Rather than send heirs his portion separately, we're
We
sending
put it
the whole
all
amount and
together.
he's paying.
right, yeah, because we have to
Us
pay it
back,
anyway,
right,
yeah,
yes.
right, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And we had some work to do with our building inspector in order
Yeah.
to bring him up to speed on the as-built. So we worked that out. So there's a motion on the floor to approve the treasurer's report. Are there any other questions? All in favor of approving the September 2018 treasurer's report, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign. The treasurer's report is approved. Thank you, Sharon, for your hard work. Item 5, approval of the general funding vouching.
I'll make a motion to approve September's disbursements of $83,427.62.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Are there any questions?
R.A. Smith, engineering fees, 140. Who is that and what's it for?
R.A. Smith is our town's engineer, and we've been working with him on
North Shore?
North Shore
Estates?
subdivision.
North Shore Estates, the condos.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That is Corey Horton.
Another quarry engineer, not to be confused.
All right, any other questions? Yeah. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the disbursements for February, or September, please say aye. Aye.
Yeah.
All opposed, the same sign. The vouching is passed. Item 6, reports. A, the police report. Matt?
August Boat Patrol report, we had 107 hours of Boat Patrol, 7.5 hours of administrative hours. We had 2 citations and 2 warnings. We conducted 10 boat inspections for safety compliance. We assisted 3 persons on the lake and 1 vessel. For the road patrol, we had 8 hours of road patrol. We handled 9 complaints. We took 2 individuals to jail, handled 2 traffic crashes, a total of 20 traffic stops, 3 repair notices, 13 traffic warnings, 15 traffic citations, spent 16 hours of running stationary radar, issued 1 ordinance citation, did 2 residence checks, 11 park checks, and 2 extra patrols were monitored. On September 5th, our officers were trained by Lake Mills EMS and are certified now to carry and disperse Narcan for individuals that overdose on opiates. The officers that were responsible for also were certified in CPR, first aid, and the use of the DFib.
Good.
Other than that, it was a busy month, but nothing unusual.
I appreciate your attendance at the Rock Lake Improvement Association meeting. Your officer did a nice job of presenting to that group and entertaining their questions, so follow up on that gift idea.
Yeah,
All right.
I will now.
Thanks, Matt. Item B, Joint Rock Lake Committee report. Those guys are struggling along with their ordinances. Nobody's here to report from them. Item C, Planning Commission report. Lee, this will be short.
Yeah, we did not meet last week. There's nothing on the agenda, so.
Great. Dave, other committee reports.
Cambridge commissioners met 8/23, and financials, $45,186 in the checkbook. Building reserves, $51,500. Fire equipment reserves, we got $46,406. EMS reserve, $25,000 and some change. Financially, not great. We do have one more quarterly payment coming in from the town of Oakland for $38,000, but we still have some few months to go. Other than that, it was pretty much just other housekeeping in the chief's report and EMS. We do have a closed session meeting tomorrow night, and then we will have a meeting on September 27th to start the budget stuff.
Ouch.
I did get the agenda and it is being posted.
Okay.
I know they'll ask.
All right.
I heard
For tomorrow.
through the grapevine that they are expanding the fire department on its original footprint. Decision made or not?
No, that's part of the closed session, so I'll talk about that.
Right.
Probably as soon as we go back into
All right.
open session, so.
All right, okay. We'll let you handle that. Item 7, a period of public comment and questions for anything that is not on the agenda this evening for discussion only. This is your part of the meeting. Everyone wants to talk. So then will you come to the podium and tell us who you are and where you live, and we'll go from there. Welcome.
Well, thank you. So my name is John Dennison. I live at N6488 Shorewood Hills Road.
Yeah.
And on June 22nd, I had phoned in to the town board chairperson the need for a road repair on the shoulder of the road in front of my property. And since June 22nd, I have not been able to obtain an update as to the status of that request. So that's the reason for my appearance tonight.
What's your phone number, did you say?
N6488.
And what needed to be done there? I'm not familiar with it. Are you guys?
I am.
So there's a portion of the shoulder of the road that's kind of disintegrated away.
Okay.
And so as we have any sizable rain, water funnels down Shorewood Hills Road along the lip that's built on both sides of the road.
Yep.
But in front of my property, that lip is broken away. So I get huge volumes of water that hit that gap. and
Going
come
between the
down
two
into my
properties.
And my neighbor to the north of me and I are currently doing landscaping, and everything our landscaper does gets washed away.
Sure.
Any sizable rain.
That's not in one of our cuts that was done a few years ago, is it?
That is one of the cuts, and with a little help from some of his neighbors, the water has truly been directed there.
Yeah.
And Jay and I looked at it, been waiting for him to come and do some patchwork, but
Okay.
not happening yet.
Yeah, just gonna put some hot patch or.
Well, we thought that would work, but I don't know, how we're, the way the water sheets in that area, it really funnels right down to the lowest spot.
I guess I'll have to swing by and take a look.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing our road tour. I have made contact with our contractor, and he just has not had time to get to it yet.
In terms of, what my expectation could be for when it does get addressed, is there any?
Well, I'd
guidance you can
certainly
give
like to
there?
get it done this fall. It's one of the many road problems we have on Shorewood Hills Road right now.
Okay. Do you keep it as a standing agenda item then, or, how do we go forward?
Well, we have a
on this?
list, we're always working a list of things with the contractors, because we have no help within the town of Lake Mills, no staff to do these road repairs. We are dependent on contractors.
All right.
And there are other road repairs that are on that list, along with yours.
Do they publish a schedule of when they're going to get to these
No.
repairs?
No,
No.
don't we wish? It's a lot of times a surprise.
So, what's your recommendation? It leaves me in limbo in terms of being able to continue any landscaping on my property.
Well, I guess what we need to do is look at it as a group. I would like to get it patched up as soon as he has the asphalt and the time to do it. I don't know if that exacerbates the problem and puts it upon someone else's lot.
It
but-
does. That neighbor intended to be here tonight but couldn't. But they've actually taken video of it, and, a virtual river coming down
We
the
have
property.
had some virtual rivers on Shorewood Hills
I
Road.
believe it, yes.
Yep.
So in the meantime, I actually,
You put a sandbag out there?
At my own expense, I went and put sandbags there. The morning I put them out, I phoned the chief, made him aware of the presence of those bags, just in case they're, they may constitute a hazard to a biker or to a walker. But I wanted the officials to be aware of that. It's a temporary solution. It seems to be working in diverting water away. But obviously, I have some urgency around seeing a permanent
Getting it
solution in
fixed.
place.
All right.
Yep, all right, we'll
You
take a
guys
look.
take a look at it
Yep.
in your time on the road. There's a couple other things that need to be addressed on Shorewood Hills Road. Appreciate your attendance.
All right, thank you. Do you
That's
need
not
any?
a very good timely answer, but
Do you
there's
need
a
anything
barrier
formal?
just like that on Elm Point Road that's waiting
Right.
some asphalt too.
Okay. Do you need anything formal from me in terms of a request for this repair?
No.
No? Okay, all right, thank you.
Appreciate it, John. Thank you. Who's next?
Thank you, Anita Martin from the City of Lake Mills, and I just wanted to announce that the DNR is having its public hearing on the air pollution control permit for the new Daybreak Foods Creekwood Farm facility next Friday, September 21st. It'll start promptly at noon in the Lake Mills Municipal Building, the City Hall, and I have information that says where people can get the actual draft permit. If people have questions, they can contact the air engineer who drafted the permit. His name is Jonathan Wright, and his phone number is on here, but I'll just say it for the, folks on the tape. It's 920-303-5432. People can ask questions in advance of the hearing. During the hearing itself, that isn't a question and answer period. So if people have questions, they should ask before the hearing, or there will be some time after the hearing takes place for people still to submit public comment. But I just want to make sure people realize that this isn't a time for people to go and ask questions. You can ask rhetorical questions, you can just listen, you can submit comments or whatever, but it isn't a Q&A at the hearing. It's totally just people speaking or submitting comments, okay? So thank you, and I'll go ahead and hand you guys out so that everybody has those.
I actually have that in correspondence, and I've already put it on the website.
Okay,
so you know.
okay, great, thank you.
Go ahead.
I'd be interested in one of those. I actually drove by it tonight.
Oh, boy.
Yes, it's particularly right tonight.
I happen to be cruising around today doing my job. I see a few of these attached to mailboxes.
Yes, I think they are.
I caution you in that. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Dave Larsoul. I am from the Lake Mills EMS. I am their new or chief service director. I am just here to basically make sure you know who we are and that we still exist and stuff, because from what I'm hearing from the other jurisdictions is we haven't really been keeping in contact, so I want to make sure that that contact is kept going here. One of the concerns that I do have is that we do not have a contract with your particular jurisdiction, or at least not one that I've seen on file. I did try calling us, or I guess the secretary, and I didn't get a response back, and I'd like to know if we can get a contract taken care of. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we had. Yeah. I'll have to see if I can dig that up. I'm
That
sure
could be
I can.
brought for tonight's meeting, because we have nothing on file for you guys. All we have is a letter saying how many, or I guess the acre, or the per capita, the 4.5. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, if there's any questions, let us know. We're also working, as you heard earlier, with your police department. We will also be teaming up more with the city as far as police and fire. And we are also all going under the same medical direction. So it is going to be kind of a team type concept. So some of the stuff that you've heard from the past, hopefully that will disappear. Because this is something that we've been trying to get done for a few years. So, any questions from anybody?
No, glad to meet you and
Yeah, you bet, and I feel your
come
pain.
forward.
I feel the same thing.
Yeah.
More and more expensive all the time, eh?
Yes, it sure is.
Thank you and welcome, Dave.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time.
No, I had someone contact me about a complaint. So, it's about the oak trees again.
Yeah, I got one too, yeah.
Okay, on Shorewood Hills Road, those ones that are dead, towards S there.
I spoke to Butchie
Oh.
Crossman last year, and he expressed some interest. I know you had said that.
I
there
had
was
someone that
some-
expressed interest in taking it
Yeah,
down too.
and I think really it looks like there's 3 of them need to go.
Yeah,
The first 3.
So, what if I were to contract to have them taken down, and then whoever would, I just don't know where the liability lies here.
Well, that's why I was, working with Butchie a little bit, because they rent that field, and I expressed to him that's like we need to wait till the crop is off,
Right, yeah.
so that those trees could be fall into the field.
right.
Now, I don't know. Your guy can you handle big trees like that, or is he just?
That's
want
what
the
I'm
limbs?
saying. Wouldn't it
Well,
be
it's not-
best if we took the trees down
Probably,
when the
yeah.
crops are off and left the wood for whoever to pick
Yeah.
up?
Otherwise, I can cut them down. I got a big enough saw to take them down. It's just that we gotta.
I don't
Obviously, one is dead, and there's
Yeah.
2 more that are dying. We can look at that a road tour too.
Yeah.
But it needs to be done because they're just spreading disease. That's all.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, how do we divvy this up, though? what's fair is fair. First man, every man
Well, no,
for
it sounds
himself.
like these guys be better off doing it, I mean.
Well, and you also could, work a little bit, how much do they want, some, all, or don't you really know?
Oh, I don't know the amount, I mean, I think just the one tree is what,
Okay.
I don't know about taking all three down,
Yeah.
so.
Well, one is dead, the other is on the way, and the other one looks affected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of weeping. Suppose there is a replacement plan in mind?
There won't be a tree there for a car to hit.
I think there's a lot of people that live in Sherwood Hills that have a different idea, Dave.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Well, let's
You know?
look at that at our road tour. You see that we had some brushing done. I have started another list because after the brushing was complete, we had this 3 weeks of rain, and there are a couple of different spots that need help again. And I'll put these on the list. I think that's the best we can do, and I guess when they get to it, they get to it, because I've been waiting for them for 6 weeks too.
We probably got a lot going on with all this rain.
Yes.
too.
There's a lot of disasters out there.
Yes, yes. We came through this in pretty good shape, I think, compared to other communities.
Yeah, definitely. Brownsville.
Yeah, Mazomanie, you get up there, it's like,
Item 8, any application reviews. There were none filed, and the Planning Commission did not meet. That's an unusual month in the town of Lake Mills. Item 9 is old business. A, discussion and decision on amendments to the schedule of fees, bonds, and deposits. The additions would be the raising ordinance, the liquor license publication, and any other cleanup that we want to do.
There was a lot of cleanup in the building inspection article because we changed those fees at the beginning of the year. That was the bulk of it. I do wonder though, when we're working on abandoned and illegally parked vehicles, that's on page 12. Is there going to be a fee to add there? And on page 11, weight limits on streets and highways, is there going to be anything to add there?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Okay, so do we want to do this now, or do we want to wait for those? Do we want to do it twice? I don't really care, but, I mean, just thought I would mention that.
I guess I would like to get this part done
Okay, yeah, I think that's
with the
good.
raising ordinance, with all the stuff that's going on building-wise.
Yep,
What do you guys think?
deputy clerk is in there too, and if we do get one this month, that would be good to have. That's on the page 12, last item on page 12.
oh, okay.
Okay. I would motion to approve the additions to the fees, bonds, and expenditures, or deposits,
Second?
as updated on September 2018. And Dave seconded that. Is there any discussion?
What's your feeling, Matt, on the abandoned, on illegally parked vehicles? The tow is, to be paid by owner. Do you need something out of that for the time you have to spend with it?
No, I think if we just, there is gonna be an ordinance violation fine, is that?
Okay, all right, yeah,
Yeah, as long as there's a fine included, we would not need anything else.
right.
And then that's whatever you guys wanna set for a base fine.
Okey doke. There's a motion on the floor then. All in favor of approving that? Please say aye.
All right.
Right.
Aye, and all opposed, the same side. We'll keep making additions.
Yeah, but it had been a while since we
Yes.
updated it, so that's good.
All right, great. Item B, discussion and decision on amendments to the town ordinance regulating seasonal weight limit, speed limit, and abandoned vehicles. We got some work to do on the weight limit. I read this over and we added a couple of roads to it. I guess I'd like to know, Dave, how you feel about the idea of the 10-ton weight limit. Here we have it classified as a Class B highway from March to May. And then it says these highways will be designated as Class A highways during the remaining months.
Right,
Is that good enough? And then there's a permit form that goes with it?
right, yeah. You know, I guess my thought is, you know, because Matt, we'll have to bounce it off you and what you're thinking too. The only thing is, I mentioned before, is I think we need to rewrite it to the point where instead of citing the state statute, we need to put not the full state statute in there, but what it actually is, so when people are viewing it, then they know, instead of, you know, having to try to lead them by the hand.
Isn't that kind of opposite of what the trend was, though? I mean, if you cite it's the state statute, then when the state statute changes, you don't have to change your ordinance every time.
Yeah, so it's
I don't know, I'm just
cited in
asking.
here.
Yeah,
Is this
I don't know.
an addition that you would like, you know, in a packet? Because I think this is what we're gonna have to give to our
Yeah.
building inspector.
right, yeah.
For another spring,
Yeah.
maybe
'cause
we should have a little welcome to the Lake Mills area packet and have that.
Otherwise, contractors, especially in the springtime, they tend to push the envelope. The 10-ton thing is not a bad idea,
Yeah.
but I think everybody and their brother is gonna be getting a $10 permit. So I don't know, do they have to carry that permit with them so they can show it?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, we can go that way.
We always run into that problem where they get that around on that Class B highway, or really have no enforcement power because of, if they're going to a, site and then leaving, they can,
Pass through
they don't have
because,
to follow the Class B highway restriction. And that's why, when we ran into that problem on North Shore, they didn't go into the town of Waterloo, they went into the town of Lake Mills,
Right.
continued on our roads. That's where we ran into that problem.
okay,
And then, of course, it's on these new roads you guys are building, so,
right,
and that was at the recommendation of the truck inspector from the county.
okay,
That's what he asked for, and he said.
He asked for
otherwise-
what?
He said the 10-ton ordinance, there would be, they could, assist us in enforcing weight violations, but the Class B, really, if they're just going to take product off, I'm not talking farm stuff, I'm talking about other than farm, or that type of deal.
Well, there's all kinds of
Really-
exemptions.
Really have no way of restricting their weight.
but I agree that it's the pass-through, the true traffic the through traffic that you would like to eliminate, and the shortcuts.
Correct.
So we can go that way, but I think we need to, not to pick on town of Waterloo, we need to do a little bit tighter of a job than what their
Well, we
ordinance
have
is.
a tighter ordinance than they do right now.
Right, yeah,
But it
exactly.
does not say 10
It
tons.
does not say 10 tons.
Where do you want the 10 tons to be inserted? This is your project.
Yep.
Next week.
Okay,
Next month.
Gotcha.
You're bringing that back to me. And I made these notes.
Yep,
Other than that, we're in good shape.
yep, and then, yeah, we just have to.
Their
let's
ordinance
see,
was
add it.
embarrassing.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Pretty basic.
Yep.
And that's one we can bring back. We're not under the gun to do anything about that now. Speed limits, I think we made the corrections to that. I guess I better bring that back too. I do believe that tonight we have the abandoned vehicle ordinance defined and corrected for the final time. Have you guys seen this and had time to look at it? Do you have any suggestions? Is this the right one, Sarah? How the heck am I doing?
This is the one you sent me today.
Yeah. You guys want to study this again this next month and get these all published so we can get these off the agenda?
Sure.
All right. We got to get this moving. Matt, was there not some other ordinance on theft that Kevin wanted us to take a look
Yeah, we
at?
needed an add a state statute under, the encapsulating ordinance that kind of adopts all the things. One thing that was missing
Is the state
is the
statute?
state statute for theft. And I can get that to you.
Can you get that? And then
Yeah.
we'll put that in here too.
That needs to be, that is some cleaning up.
All right. We're not making much progress, you guys. Let's get this going so that we can finish this up in October. We have a sample transportation resolution that I thought we should put on the agenda and discuss. This is a appeal to state government to be responsible for more and more of our transportation budget. You guys have seen this document. Are you ready to endorse this so that we could send this on to our legislators and to the governor? I would make a motion to sign this 2018 through, is it really through '02?
No.
No, that's the-
Resolution
that's the
2018-02.
Oh, that's the resolution number.
Yeah.
I will make a motion to approve signature of the transportation resolution 2018-02.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none. On the note of another resolution, I was thinking it might be prudent for us to write a resolution about this water ski situation where we have our state legislature relaxing the regulations on water ski observers. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Is it worth writing a resolution?
Has there been any repercussions on that change, you know of?
We haven't had any.
Yeah, let's do the one that actually doesn't have all kinds of writing on it.
Yeah.
We were practicing.
You got the cart in front of the horse.
I've been out there, and it seems like some people are still just using a spot.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
It makes good
It
sense.
just totally makes sense.
Yeah. So why can't we be more restrictive?
There's an hour restriction on that.
Okay.
Certainly.
You need to have a boat patrol in place, and you can be more restrictive if you put in
1,500.
1,500 hours in 2 years. And that would mean we would literally have to have somebody on the lake 40 hours a week. And we're not ever going to be able to do that.
And that's a capture of it. That's what.
I just think that there should be some pushback on this. I think that I will take it on to draft a resolution, and we can look at that next month. I think our legislators need to know that this is a conundrum for us, because we are really, our hands are tied, and I do think that it is super that people still participate that way, but it's only going to take one accident for this to go over the top.
Yeah.
All right, we'll work on that for next month. Item D, update on brushing and road work. As you heard before, we're behind on everything. Weather has not been our friend. You saw tonight, we paid some bills for brushing. There is more brushing to be done. We'll discuss that on our road tour. I have been working with Jay Bedrock on the small asphalt projects that we have, like Mr. Dennison's project. I also am starting a process on the 20th to meet with Jeremy from Short, Elliott, and Hendrickson. Those are the engineers who are designing the Rock Lake Bridge and the Newville Bridge to begin working on our grant project. I'm just going to have an initial meeting with him at 9 o'clock that day. If you guys want to come, maybe we should post that meeting. It'd be real interesting to just see what he has to say, how many details he already has on the engineering, and how we would go about planning this.
That's here.
Yes, 9 o'clock. We did, as you could see by the treasurer's report, replace that culvert out on Cool Road. I wondered if we should take a look at that on our road tour. Did you have a chance to look at it?
I did, and I also had a complaint on it that, an inquiry of who was gonna come back and do the finish up and detail
Yeah,
work.
it needs to have some finish work. I felt the
It
same
is
way.
Messy. I mean, it got done.
Yeah.
And it's installed,
Yeah.
properly. The culvert is holding a little bit of water, but I think it's because the exit and the splash pan, it might be turned up just a little bit at the end and it's holding a little water, but, it does need to be addressed. And I see you have on here, is this for, to put a,
Repave,
yeah. So, and that was one of the questions too.
yeah. Well, I just
Sharon, I'm
didn't,
sure you've been over it a couple of times, right?
didn't feel like that was the best job that we had last time on the paving.
No, I'd agree. It's
And
you know,
I thought we should go at that a little more professionally.
Yep. Otherwise, it
But
gets
I
a
do
little
think
slip
there's
slop.
some finish up work that needs to be done.
And that may be able to be done all at the same time when, if we can coax them, depending on what they have there for tools.
Well, let's take a look at it. That is of
Did you
concern
look
to
at it,
me.
Lee?
No, I hadn't.
I mean, it's good that it's done because now you're going to be able to get the full volume of water, and in heavy rains, that is, I mean, it's a flood of water. And then, especially when what was there, like 7 inches of rain that one day,
Yeah.
8, and it actually was running across the road because the culvert couldn't take it all.
There?
Yes,
It was. Wow. I was there
but the
after,
volume was.
after the first rainstorm and on a clear day, and it was really running strong.
Yeah.
Carries a lot of water. Asking him to reuse those pans maybe was not the right thing.
No, the pans are in good shape. I think just the
Think the culvert is
excavation.
set a little high?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I mean, there's a little bit of a puddle on the inlet end, but I think in time that's obviously we get saturated conditions. I think it's probably gonna possibly silt in and go away. It appears that he set it about the same level it was.
All right, we'll take a look at it on our road tour. I did have a call from Dennis at Payne and Dolan. They are doing some work in Lake Mills. He told me he would let me know about that. I put all the wedge lists together that we had, and I shared this wedge list with Frank Brothers and also with the county. I asked them to give us some quotes. So far, and I told them I wanted them by tonight. Here's the only one we got. We can take a look at this later. We can pick and choose, but this is something that we're gonna have to decide in the next month, so if we're gonna get it done. Let's look at that at our road tour too, huh?
Do you want to pick and choose on a couple of these things to get him going since he's working here? I mean, the Cool Road one, you know what the Road did when we left those two open all winter.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that.
And the Hope Lake Road one, that's kind of a sore spot. Fayetteville Road, that one, and I don't know.
Sitting there forever.
I have not looked at that culvert. Do you suppose that we have the same issue with that culvert? Have you looked down in there?
Oh, that culvert is fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there after the rain. That's a
I mean,
major
The
culvert.
bottom. Oh, yeah, it is. I
Yeah.
think that's like a 30 inches.
And it's not that old. It's new. Looks good. If we had our druthers, I'd do all of them, but I don't know if we got the cash in hand. I don't know when we're gonna get the 28 back. Maybe I can wrangle a deal with, Dennis and say, pay you when we get, when we see the check from the state. I don't wanna go into the years,
Can I see that?
yeah, dragging behind.
Well, then what were you thinking of having Jay from Hay and Bedrock take a look at addressing a little cleanup on the ends of the culverts with some topsoil?
Works for me, or call Franz back and ask him to come and finish up.
Whoever's gonna do the most detailed, because it's just a detailed, you know.
I thought the same thing when I looked at it. I was a little disappointed that they left it as they had.
Depending on when your road tour is gonna be, I can get you some numbers to work with. It's gonna be pretty soon, right? When is he working here?
Well, probably through the rest of the month.
Yeah,
I see they got a bunch of roads milled up.
yeah, that's right.
And it's all weather dependent, you know?
A bunch of roads.
What do you think?
And it would be nice if we could get the road tour done yet this month.
Yes, we got it with all
You
this
guys
I
were
don't know what
storm
your
talking
damage.
about
schedule is, but
doing
mine's
the-
gonna get hectic.
You were originally talking about the week of the 17th, that's what, next week?
We'd love to get it done. Well, let's book a date. Let's not make a decision on this until we do our road tour. We can make a decision at road tour on what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and then if Sarah, if we get time to let us
You
know where
wanna
we're
do,
at.
a couple years ago, you guys finished up your road tour with me and we sat down right then. You wanna do that again?
Yeah.
We'd just love to do that. All right,
What
pick a
day?
date, any date. That's why I brought my little date book here. I heard that.
It's really, for me, it's the 20th or the 21st.
On my calendar for.
Uh-oh. Where are you supposed to be?
I don't know.
Oh, is that that might be the hearing that she just.
Oh, yes, it is. It's the hearing. You wanna, what are you doing on Friday morning, the 21st? You didn't want to go to work anyway, Lee.
Oh, yeah, the 21st works.
Does it?
Yeah, 20th or 21st, yeah.
Well, since I've scheduled this 9 o'clock meeting with SEH, we could go after that, but I think we should look at Friday
Okay.
and roll out about 8. That work for you, Lee?
Yeah,
8 o'clock on the 21st? Oh, what fun we'll have. We do have a lot of storm damage to look at, and we can look at these wedge projects. I'd love to get some of that done. Some of these have been on the list for 5 years. Does that work then?
Just keep me posted.
Circle back? You know, we can work it out.
Yeah.
Okay, that stands. September 21 at 8 o'clock. Item 10, new business. A, discussion of air conditioning at the town hall. Sarah and I put this on the agenda because we thought you guys should think about it while you're sweating still.
Well, we had looked into a new Havoc and AC, but because in kind of this is on a cement slab and the ductwork would be tough, a quick fix is wall units.
Yeah.
And I think that's about,
I
The
just brought
only
it up
choice
because
you really
at the election, it was moldering in
Oh,
here.
yeah.
And I got a lot of people saying something about it, which I just then said, well, it's all of our expense, so you want to go there. But the police department uses this building a lot, so, even though the election was one day of the summer, they're here all the time. I think a wall unit or a window unit, something like that would suffice.
Our building inspector says the same thing.
yeah, well, there's been quite a few uncomfortable days and meetings here, so, I mean, I think that would be the cheapest way to go.
you're talking having like a unit in here and then one in the office, or just,
Well, we got these holes in the wall.
Could replace them with air conditioners, yeah, maybe.
The electricity is right there. I had a contractor out to look at my old one-room school, which is very much like this building. He says there's a unit that you can put in that heats and cools.
Yep.
So I made a phone call to Jensen's. I also pushed them along because they're supposed to be doing our cross-contamination inspection, and they've had my set of keys for 3 months. Still haven't gotten here.
It's not contamination, it's cross-section, isn't it?
I don't know
Is that
what
what
it
they
is.
call
It's a
it?
water thing.
okay.
part of the Main Street redo.
Oh, right, okay.
So I asked them to come, maybe we can make that happen.
Yep.
If we had some numbers, we could look at doing that during our budget time. All
Would
right.
you want a small unit in your office, Matt, and then a bigger one out here? I mean, you guys don't want to move out here.
No.
Because you're chasing back and forth.
Yeah, we don't use this room rarely. It'd be nice to have from here, I guess. I mean, we sit there with a fan on, but
When you're the heat, you really
yeah, a
like
small
it.
unit there would be more than enough to cool that room.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah.
So we have to take a look at both those. You
Yeah.
know, a bigger unit for in here and a small one for in
Well, I
there.
think we should explore it and just see what might come about. We'd have to have a carpenter and an electrician involved, but
If we can get some sort of idea what it would cost.
yeah,
for a
I think
budget,
that would be really good. And it would be something we could work on so that it's ready to go next spring. When it starts to heat up again.
I don't have any elections next summer, so maybe we can start with the office.
Okay. All right, good. I'm glad we had that on the agenda. Item B, set a date for the 2019 budget workshop. I'm going to go to the Towns Convention on the 15th and 16th. I'm up for it. I suppose you'll be picking corn, and now you won't want to give any time up in October, but
Well, customarily, we always did it, you know, running to 20-something. So I don't know, you picked the rain day. But you need a break sometimes anyway,
how
so.
about Tuesday night, the 23rd?
Okay, and what about you, Lee?
Tuesday nights, yeah, that'd be fine.
6 o'clock? You girls happy about that? Oh, they're so happy.
They're all busy in my house, so we could work.
6 PM.
6 PM on the 23rd, okay. Board expense approval sheet, you must have one, Sarah.
Election expenses.
Thank you, and thanks to all our poll workers for all the hard work they put in to make our elections go smoothly. You have a dwindling staff, Sarah, I see.
I had a hard time this year. People had
Other
things going on,
things.
other priorities. I think everybody will be in for November, but because it's, you know, the bigger ones are a little more on the radar, but
Right,
You get, can do that one there. So.
okay. You're gonna get out of here quick, huh?
No, otherwise we'll forget.
Let's move on to correspondence. We do have one letter. I posted it in your box from Sean McCloy, who lives on Shorewood Hills Road, who was inundated by floodwater in his garage. And I think we should have that in the record.
you didn't give me a copy. I have that in email, but
Let me get it.
And that's not the first time. When Sean and his wife and kids, when they first purchased that property, I believe that was in '08, they obviously got flooded out a couple times. Jim and I was in there, and there was like a foot of water in their basement, and it was pretty ugly. And at that time, Sean had volunteered access through his lawn to be able to control the height of that water. Obviously, that's not a real popular thing. And it's something I think that it's a touchy situation, but it should be addressed. If you look at Majola Shores, the water runs right down the street, right down the side of the ditch, in the culvert, and right into the lake. So by eliminating one, is that a big, huge impact? I don't know. You know, I feel for those people because they do have property at risk. So I don't know, Hope. I know it's always been a tough one. Even when in '08, when it got so high, it was probably up to like the top of the second panel on his garage door. We had pumps down there running, and that wasn't even a popular thing.
Well, that had to be before 2008, Dave. Trying to think.
I think it was 2008,
Okay.
2007, 2008.
Yeah. Well, here's what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking that we've had eternal trouble with the 2 new homes on Upper Shorewood Hills Road.
Yes,
We have eternal trouble with Mary Price.
yes.
We have now another player, Mr. McCloy. I'm sure there are other people in that neighborhood who are affected. I had a phone call from John Crump, who's living in Crump Cottage. And I just feel sort of like we need to put all these people in one room and come up with some solutions.
Yep. Because Sean also, I have not talked to him in a while, but he expressed, he's a doctor, and he expressed the interest of rebuilding his house and making that his permanent residence. So that means he'd be invested in the town.
The letter that he sent to us came from a Hortonville address, so he is obviously a weekend user.
Yes, correct. And a lot of times his wife and kids are up here while he's working.
Okay. Well, what do you think of that idea? Using our town hall to pull all those neighbors together to look each other in the eye and try to figure out some solutions.
Yep.
I don't feel that I can do this myself.
Nope. It's not going to be popular. but-
I don't think that we can go into it without some suggested solutions.
Agreed.
And I think that it would behoove us to work with our town's engineer again, Mr. Corey Horton, to come up with a couple of ideas on what we might do, put forward a couple of dates, and then invite those people or their representatives to come and look each other in the eye and figure this out.
Yep. I don't know what else to do.
I think that it's beyond all of us to solve that problem. And that lip on Shorewood Hills Road has been an eternal pain in the you-know-what for everyone. The other solution I was thinking of, we have a very discordant neighborhood at White Oak Lane too. Been on that site many times, looked at the ditch, the town property. Our building inspector has been monitoring that site. I think maybe that's another case where we should put everybody in the same room and say, how are we going to manage this stormwater from here on out? Let's take one project on at
Yeah.
a time.
Has there been runoff issues at?
Oh, yeah, and there's some dead oak trees there too. All kinds of stuff to show
Those
you.
are in the town.
The ones they didn't cut?
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know whether I should get the tar and the feathers now or wait until later, but I think it would be a really good
April's
idea
coming.
Well,
to,
it depends on who's being
April's
dipped.
coming.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I guess I think it would be a good idea, a good way to at least gain some understanding and get to know your neighbors and figure out how we could solve this problem or come up with some solutions to
That everybody can work
minimize
with.
it or understand. Okay, I'm gonna pursue that. What else you got in correspondence? Sorry.
That's okay. I have an email from the State Trust Fund Loans people. They're offering municipalities storm damage loans, and they're making them very easy to get. So I don't believe that we have anything that would need that, but I thought I would mention it just in case. I have a question from a resident about a fire number. The post is bent over and loose in the front yard near the road. Someone turning around in their driveway hit it and the post is bent. If they live on County Road S, they asked the county highway department and they thought it was our issue. I'm just wondering, what's the protocol on that? If it's knocked down by a snowplow or something, obviously we're replacing it, but if you did it, do we send the county out to do it and charge the resident back, or do we just do it? What's the
I don't know. I think we just fix
Consensus
it.
here.
I think we just fix it.
Yeah.
okay?
Give me
We do have
that.
some other things, projects for Ty in that
All right,
arena.
make a tie list.
I have a Ty list.
All right.
The Ty is on my speed dial now. I have so Anita mentioned that the public hearing is happening for the Crossman Road facility. There's also something going on with the Highway O facility. They are also working on a permit. State of Wisconsin Department of Revenue public notice of availability of a nutrient management plan and intent to reissue a Wisconsin pollutant discharge elimination system permit. And that one does not have a public hearing listed in it, but it does talk about the permit drafter, Mark Kane, at the headquarters on Fish Hatchery Road, that you can submit your comments to him, and I can put this information on. They did publish it in the Lake Mills Leader actually too in August, so that is also going on. A note from our website provider saying that they have been working on making all of the municipal websites ADA 508 compliant. That is compliance for people with disabilities. So you know that our website should be compliant with that rule. The 2018 preliminary estimate of our census count came. It's 2,091 for your information. And as always, they give us the challenge form if we want to challenge that number. I don't know why we would. It went up 21 people,
2,091
people from 2017 to 2018. No, 2010 census.
How many
to
people did you say?
Seems like
20?
2000.
Yeah.
21.
Because we were always like, what, 2050 before?
We were 2070 for a
Yeah,
while.
2070,
Quite a
2075, I
while. The
think.
last 8 years. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, people come in,
Yeah, it
people
seems
go,
like-
so that's the net.
seeing all the new houses and stuff.
I also have a note from the Department of Administration making us aware that the state of Wisconsin has negotiated scores of supply and service contracts that are available to local governments that typically feature wide product selections, competitive prices, warranties, fast delivery, and satisfaction guarantees, and there's a variety of items. Some of it's specifically talking about storm damage this time around, but that's to make you aware. And then this was the item that Anita brought
All right,
up, so
okay.
that is my folder. Might want to keep that one handy.
All right. Just something Sarah and I were mentioning the other day when we're doing our road tour and when you guys are out looking around. We noticed a lot of those reflective signs are starting to show a lot of wear,
Yeah.
Yes.
especially on the sunny side of the street.
I agree.
All
I
of a
agree.
sudden.
Our reflectivity is not very well.
And
Very good.
Sarah said she needed to call Lang anyway, and so we were gonna talk about if they have a warranty or how long they're saying these signs are supposed to last. We may be making a list and replacing a bunch of signs in the winter months. Okay, item 12, meeting scheduled. October 2nd at 8 p.m. is the Town Planning Commission. October 2nd at 6 p.m. is the Joint Rock Lake Committee. October 4th is the town board meeting. We agreed to that. That's going to work out at 8 p.m. We have very little time between the 2nd and the 4th, so we'll have a lot of homework to do in October. I thought we should talk about November
Okay.
because we have an election.
The election is November 6th, which would affect the Plan Commission meeting.
So you guys make a note of that, Lee. We will meet regularly in November on the 13th. I made these dates.
That would be the public hearing
Yes,
for the
that's
budget.
the public hearing on our budget. Is that a 7:30 or a 7?
I think it's 7:30.
Yeah. I was following up with Rick Radel, Daybreak Foods, who is interested in bringing engineering material.
Good.
But nothing has come forward. I've had contact with Corey. He's seen nothing, so they may be dragging behind. I did ask him to give us an update in November.
Well, yeah,
on
that's
his
what I thought you were
progress.
talking about. Yeah, the
No,
update.
he is coming with the over-the-road conveyor.
Oh, because last I had heard that they were probably going to operate for a little while without a conveyor.
Well, you have your ear to the ground on that more than I do. Rick said they would be forthcoming with engineering.
Yeah, things could have changed. That was a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're kind of set for that. I know there'll be a date change for November. I wanted to,
Yeah, so Sarah, you prefer like the 7th, like after the election, right? Is that, or the 7th or the 8th?
Yeah, not the 5th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the
Yes.
hall set up already on Sunday probably, and I'll be doing in-person, early voting, I call it now. Yeah, I would prefer after the 6th, yes.
so you guys can discuss that at your next meeting or in an email. Anything else?
I'll send an email out.
That'd be good, I
Thank
think.
you.
Just to be proactive, since there's so much information involved in that daybreak proposal, I want to make sure that that doesn't get rushed and that they give us time.
We're gonna have to, if we do get that, we're gonna have to have time to notify neighbors too.
Yeah, we gotta have time. Major time.
Yeah.
I don't care if it doesn't happen till January. Item 13 is the adjournment.
I will make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.